The member for Canterbury.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. I rise today to speak on the concerns that I have about the Berejiklian government's approach to infrastructure planning in my electorate of Canterbury, or the lack of infrastructure planning in my electorate. These concerns reflect those of my local community, and in recent weeks I've held a number of street meetings and mobile offices, and person after person, many residents have been raising these issues. It's all there for people to see as you drive down Canterbury Road. The lack of coordinated planning, the gridlock on Canterbury Road. Now, the state government is proposing significant growth in Canterbury against a backdrop of increasing population density and an increase in the number of building approvals. Yes, I agree that we do need, of course we do need housing. I was one of the people in the upper house who established the inquiry into affordable social and public housing a few years ago. So I understand that there is a great need for all types of housing, but you need to have the support services and the infrastructure in place to get it right. Mr. Deputy Speaker, between 2011 and 2016, the population density of the old Canterbury local government area rose from 4,312 to 4,461 persons per square kilometre. In the same period, the population grew by 7,279, rising from 132,428 to 139,707. Now, between 2011 and 2036, the population of the new entity of Canterbury Bankstown LGA is expected to rise by 166,900, or 49.7%. Now, that will bring the total population to 500,000 people. That represents an annual growth of 1.6%. The ABS reports that between 2011 and 2016, the annual number of building approvals for private sector houses in the old Canterbury LGA rose from 106 to 170, an increase of 60%, and in the same period, the number of approvals for units, apartments and other non-house dwellings rose from 169 to 1,532, an increase of 807%. The government, now this, and based on these figures, the infrastructure is not meeting the current levels of development. The government has also announced 36,000 additional dwellings are proposed under the Sydenham to Bankstown Urban Renewal Corridor. This will be very, very problematic. This will be problematic change through the creation now of the priority precincts, which means an acceleration of this development in Canterbury, Campsie and Belmore, 3 suburbs in my electorate. There's a 5-year dwelling target of 13,250 for the Canterbury Bankstown area. The New South Wales government has declared those suburbs as priority precincts for growth. It will be problematic. The other 2 suburbs that they've called is Torella and Bardwell Park. They are not in my electorate, but the map from the stations takes in the Walleye Creek Regional Park and also parts of Earlwood, which people are very, very concerned about. They do not want to see the Walleye Creek Regional Park being developed, and I urge the government to make a statement that will not happen. The community will be the loser without adequate infrastructure being put in place to support such unprecedented growth. Now, the state government so far has given no detail nor given any clarification at all as to how it will provide that essential infrastructure. The schools, the hospital. Yesterday's budget had $0 for Canterbury Hospital, even though we're seeing this growth and further unprecedented growth. The community facilities, the parks, the open space, and the government is asking the council and others to pay for it, but it's their responsibility. There are no traffic investigations. No traffic investigations have been undertaken to consider the impact of the thousands of dwellings to inform changes to the road network. Now, there are other areas, the social infrastructure. As I mentioned, Cantebury Hospital has had no additional funding in yesterday's budget. The community services, open space, the road infrastructure. Now, it's appalling that my area has to undergo such growth without the adequate investment and no infrastructure, and I'm calling on the government to look at this urgently.